Hello everybody, I'm Philosoraptor42. This is Octopath Traveler for Switch. We're going to be doing the Cyrus story for the speedrun, and this is basically where we just do all 4 chapters of Cyrus' story, and once we finish the final boss of Cyrus, then that's the end of the run. It's not a full game category, but it's still a pretty nice chunk of the game, and it's a pretty fun run. We're going to be doing some neat stuff with some of the boss fights and whatnot to beat them at super low levels.
Hold on, there's something I have to check on audio.
Okay. Actually, if you could, can you maybe turn my game audio down a hair? Thank you. What's going on? Right on. That's cool. Shoot, I'll get a boss fight practice in if you're if you need a minute. Oops, I did not mean new game. Oh, are we? Okay, hang on. Shoot. Of course, now I just got in this boss fight. I'll just die on purpose. Well, this fight's gonna probably kill me 67 times anyway, so it's whatever. I'll just... I like that critical hit that just killed Cyrus in one shot. Okay. I'm kidding. Coming back to title now. All right, there we go. Okay, I'm ready.
All right, going back to you in 3, 2.
All right, let's try this one again, huh? So I'm Philosoraptor42. This is Octopath Traveler. Single story Cyrus campaign. So it's not a full game run, but it is a good taste of an Octopath speed run. Gets all 4 chapters of Cyrus in, so you get to see his entire story unfold while I skip all the cutscenes, so you don't really get any of the lore. So you know, all the cutscenes are skippable, so I will be, because it's speed run. We got to go fast. I'm kind of excited. This is actually my first modern console speed run. Every time I've been here in the past, it's always been NES, Super NES, Game Boy. Now we got Nintendo Switch. So, and it's a cool run. I like it. It's a little bit RNG heavy. You guys are probably going to see me get trolled quite a bit in a couple of spots, but we'll push through it. We'll have a good time. And so I hope you enjoy, and I'll try and do my best to explain what's going on, stuff like that. So in 3, 2, 1, go! So we're controlling Cyrus. Cyrus is a school teacher here at this castle. Apparently he has 2 students, and they're some random normal person and the princess of the castle. A random normal person is totally in love with Cyrus and is just hanging out here waiting for him, so we're going to skip that too. She comes into play a little later. So first things first, we're going to the library because we're a book nerd. And we're going to find out that a book got stolen, a pretty important book out of the archives. And so we're going to talk to the headmaster about it. And we're going to be in charge of investigating it. And so now we've got to go back to the library and do stuff. And Cyrus is kind of cool. He has an ability called Scrutinize, and it lets you actually do like a little bit of investigative reporting kind of deal. So we're going to go back to the library. And so this is where we're going to start being able to use the Scrutinize ability. And so we're going to start off by doing it to this guard here. And he's going to tell us some stuff. Then we're going to go back into the library, scrutinize her, scrutinize this guy. Oh yeah, we're going to scrutinize this guard too. Now this isn't something we have to do for the investigation. It's unlocking a hidden item I'm going to grab in a little bit. Well, we're going to go back to the academy. So was Japanese still winning, by the way, because I pretty much just used Japanese anyway. So hopefully that was winning. And we're going to scrutinize the headmaster. And so that's going to give us all the clues we need to solve this puzzle. So we're going to do it right now, because Cyrus is a super detective like Batman. So the headmaster and the guard have keys. And the guards was the one that was used because the headmaster showed us his key and it was dusty or something. And so now we know that Russell did it because of reasons.
And don't you worry, Japanese did win $20.
Okay, good. So, because Japanese is totally what's on right now, because it's what I do by default, and forgot to even think about it. So before we do anything else, we're going to come on down here. We're going to scrutinize this little girl, because why not? Why not scrutinize a child? That's going to unlock this hidden item right here. And then we're going to come in here, and we're going to buy ourselves a quartz rod. Equip it on Cyrus immediately. And that's the only equipment we're ever going to really... Well, that's not true. It's the only weapon we're ever going to buy in this run, is that one. Which is pretty hilarious for an RPG speedrun, huh? And then the first item the first hidden item we unlocked from scrutinizing the guard there, we just picked up that light soul stone. So the initial couple of boss fights and stuff are going to kind of abuse the use of these soul stones for. They're just items you use in combat that do damage to things. And so now we get our first fight of the game in here in this little dungeon. And so the combat in this system is actually pretty cool. So enemies have shields, and and certain attacks will actually do damage to those shields. And if you completely damage the shield, if you knock the shield down 0, the enemy is broken and they take extra damage. And so sometimes it'll be like Cyrus' staff will break the enemy, or Tressa's spear, or something like that. So it's kind of neat that happens. Or some magic spells, or whatever. So like this one, we can see its weaknesses are like staff, spear, axe, and fire. And then we also have what's called BP, and we can... And the combat's based all around using BP at the right times and stuff. And every turn you don't use BP, you gain one. And you can have a max of 5 at any given time. And you can use up to 3 of them at a time to give your abilities plus like a times 4. So this is good. This will be my 3rd encounter. So what I'm trying to do is be level 3 and to get 15 job points. And by fighting 3 of those kind of enemies, I do get that. So there's level 3, there's 15 job points, so we're good to go on fighting Russell. And the reason we want that is because Russell also gives 15 job points, and I need 30 to get my first job ability. So this is Russell, the first boss. He stole the book because he had gambling debts, and he's got 2 mobs there. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to use Fireball by itself. That's going to do some damage and do 1 break shield worth of damage to the ads there, which is going to give us enough BP to do a times 3. So then we're going to do that with the Fireball, and that's going to break the 2 ads. And also, when an enemy is broken, it can't move for 2 turns. The turn you break it and the following turn. So then we're going to go ahead and use one of these soul stones we picked up, and that's going to kill the 2 ads. And then we are, let's see where we at for that. Okay, we're good. Then we're going to go ahead and use Ice Wind, because he's weak to ice, to do 1 point of break damage to him. And then here we're going to go ahead and use a Grape to restore our health, because we're pretty low. And then we're going to be attacking in a way. And then hit him with another Soul Stone. Now he's going to come out of break, and he's going to be able to attack again. So then we're going to attack him 1 more time. That's going to fill our BP meter. And then we're going to hit him 3 times to break him again. 4 times Fireball, and see you, Russell. That was actually one of my quicker Russell fights, too. Nice. On roll. So we've solved the problem. We got a bunch of cutscenes we get to skip. Alright, so the first thing we got to do here real quick is, now that we got the 30 job points, I'm going to go ahead and learn a new skill. And that skill is Lightning Blast. So we're going to do that. And now we can go talk to the Headmaster again. And Headmaster is kind of a jerk. And he's going to basically, send us away. And this is his little friend, Lucia, here. You might want to remember her for later. And there's our friend Therese, who is in love and is sad we're leaving. So now at this point, we're done with Cyrus Chapter 1. So that was the first chapter done. And so we're leaving town, and so the thing with this game is you have to head towards the exit of town to finish chapters of people's stories in this game. Kind of interesting. They do it that way. So now this next part is going to be super. Is one of the 2 big RNG sinkholes, I guess you could say, in this game. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be trying to snatch up 100 job points in 1 fight. And we're going to a place that can do that, but it doesn't always do that, and that's kind of the RNG. We'll see if I get to run. Okay, cool. So we want 100 job points because that's going to be the next time we can get an ability. And it also is the point where we unlock our first passive job ability, which is super important for this run. We also want this $1,500 in here, so we come in here for that. And so I'm going to run around here for an encounter and cross our fingers and no, this is not the encounter I want. This is very concerned Froge. Let's see if it lets me run. It's probably not because these guys are super high level compared to me. This is like a level 15 area. I'm level 4. So we're just going to die. It's whatever. It happens. So the great thing about this game is it auto-saves every screen transition. So I didn't really lose anything by that death. I can just load the autosave and be right back here again. So auto-saving in this game is a very good thing. Alright, let's see if we get it this time. That is the same encounter. You guys need to stop. Need some concerned Froges in chat or something. If they have them. I don't know if that's the same kind of global emote or not. But yeah, get used to this screen. If these guys don't play ball, we might see it a couple times. So some of the later strategies in this run, I like to say that this run is capitalism, the game. We definitely throw our money at our problems in this game. With the speed run. And you'll be seeing a lot more of that later. Really? Froges, come the heck on. Sometimes you get to run from them, every once in a while. What sucks about this one too is the frogs that aren't wearing the helmet will buff their strength before attacking, so they're just wasting my time now. Thankfully, there isn't anything other than one boss fight that's this terrible with RNG anywhere else in this game. All the boss fights except for one are pretty free, as long as you don't make mistakes. But that's why you're going to see me collecting absurd amounts of money throughout the course of this run. Come on! Basically, what I'm looking for is like 2 frogs and 2 bugs, or 5 bugs, or like 4 owls. But there's so many other combinations of things that can show up. But now that you would know that, because I keep seeing the same 2 encounter packs. Frog City is not my favorite city. Not for this run, anyway. Okay, come on. Give me a good one. There's also a rare enemy called a Kate. If I run into that, that'll be good too. But you know, we're just gonna get frogs. Why not? Frogs! Oh, yeah, I'm not gonna fight that. I might actually run. No, but no. There is a chance I could run. But like I said, they're like... But it's my fault. I came in here myself. I volunteered for this. But I have an ace up my sleeve. Like, I could kill that encounter pack easy, but it doesn't give me 100 job points, so it's no point in doing it. Alright, come on. And this one doesn't either. It's a different group of frogs, and I'm surprise attacked. So that's another thing that could get me too. I could encounter the correct encounter, and then still get surprise attacked and die. So there's also that little bit of RNG too. There's a little bit. Wow, it doesn't usually take this long. Actually, my last two marathon runs, it took me this long to get a good encounter pack. Seems to wait until marathon to really get me this hard. Yeah. Frogs! Frogs! dead frogs. Apparently the frogs are unhappy with the donation total and they want more. If you've got any donations, you might as well read them because I'm just going to be doing this until I get the right encounter pack. Let's see. Do we get it? We get it? We get it? No, frogs. Frogs!
Well, with these frogs, we do have one. We have a $5 donation from Zan Damascus. And it says, passing on the Kirby love, $5. All right, so we're going to...
I mean, it's probably a good time to do it. I'm not having to focus on anything.
No. Woo!
All right, frogs. All right, be nice. Don't just kill me. I mean, they will, because they just surprise attack me anyway. Really? We're at 14 and a half minutes and I still haven't gotten the encounter back? Oh, this is gorgeous. Well, we said if I was playing at home going for a PB, I would have reset this about 5 minutes ago. But I can't. This is my RNG luck at its finest. Alright, come on. There we go. This is one I can deal with. But I got surprise attacked, so I'm dead. That would have been one of them.
Maybe raise your spirits. I want you to know the chat has been full of OS Frog.
Thank you, chat. OS Frog is beautiful. OS Frog. Because I forgot Concern Froge, I think, is an FFZ emote. Or if you got Poverty Frog or something. Come on, come on, come on. This works too. This is fine. And we didn't get surprise attacked. We're good. All right, we're through. All right, so now I just throw a light soulstone M at him and just go by. And that is 148 job points, so we good. Okay, so the reason we needed that is right here. So we go into these skills here, and I learn Firestorm, whatever. Evasive maneuvers, you see that? Okay. So this is evasive maneuvers. Evasive maneuvers reduces the encounter rate for the game. Which means I can now start just running through screens without encounters, or with one encounter, or something like that. So this is going to make this a nice little jaunt through the game, as I will be transitioning quite a few screens with no encounters. So this is the part now where we're going to be, I'm going to be spending some time getting some fast travel stuff. So this game has a fast travel system. And so you can fast travel to different towns and stuff like that, but you have to have been there first. So we're going to be making that happen a little bit here. Now you're getting to see more screens other than Whistlewood Forest. How about that? We don't need to OS Frog anymore, but you still can if you want. Wow, I actually got an encounter on this screen. Alright, so one of the cool things about this game too is if you break the entire group of enemies on the screen, you're guaranteed to be able to run. So now that I broke them, I can just run and it'll succeed. And I was like one step away from the screen transition too, which is pretty much the case every time I get an encounter on a screen. I'm a step away or something like that. Okay. We're now entering the town of Rippletide. Say hi to Rippletide, everybody. Thank you. Say bye, Rippletide.
Bye, Rippletide. Time to read a couple donations?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, so we have one $5 donation from Bahamut, which just says Ribbit. And then we have a $30 donation from Bungie to the Tree that says, "Hey Raptor, let's Octo-go those past frogs."
Oh my god.
And that was for the Pokemon Sword and Shield, which is the final run of the marathon. A trainer named being Crab Rave.
I like it, but I think I agree with Helix. So if I get any runner's choices, Lapras. Lapras2020, y'all. Make it a thing.
We have to balance all that fire Pokemon out, so I agree, Lapras.
So we're just traversing some screens here since we're already here. It's not too big a deal. I actually got an encounter on that last screen, which I was kind of surprised about because I thought the encounter rate is pretty much like a step count on this, and I thought my movement was pretty good. But sometimes you just get RNG'd and it's whatever, you know. You could move perfectly and the game's just like, here's an encounter anyway. Also, the terrain, I'm pretty sure, was designed by the developers to make sure you get stuck on it all the time. Okay, so this is the town of Cobblestone. Say hi to Cobblestone, everybody. Hi, Cobblestone. Say bye to Cobblestone, everybody. Thank you. All right. So we will actually be going to those towns later, but we're getting them since they're kind of on the way to where we were going. Cobblestone's a little bit out of the way, but not very much, so we get it now. Basically so that we can just fast travel to them later via the fast travel system. So now this next screen that I'm coming up to now is a very, very difficult one to get without an encounter, and for some reason this is the one I usually always get without an encounter. And it's like one of the harder ones. There's a way to get through here guaranteed without an encounter. It's slower and I don't want to do it. And I never have, even when learning. And we got it. So there's Stone Guard, everybody. Hi, Stone Guard. Bye, Stone Guard. I didn't say everyone that time. Alright, so now we're actually going to go somewhere pretty dangerous, but it'll be okay because of evasive maneuvers. We're going to go into an area we have no business being in at like level 4 or whatever we are, 5, whatever we are at this point. We probably actually did gain a level off of those bugs we fought to get our job points. So West Everhold Pass here is a level 45 area. No big deal. We're like level 5 or something. We're going to get this Light Soulstone L. You saw what the Light Soulstone M did to things a little earlier. We just got an L. We're going to tuck back here in this little hidden passageway. And we're coming to this cave, the Shrine of the Rune Blade. Which has a thing called a secondary job in it, but we don't care about that. I'm here for one thing and one thing only. One treasure chest. Right here. Capitalism! $50,000. How about that? And we're going to go to Rippletide now. That's fast travel right there. We're actually going to go to Rippletide and be in Rippletide now and not just leave. So, yeah, actually hi Rippletide. And we're going to come here. This is Tressa. Tressa likes money too, just like me. So the great thing about, so she's going to be our first party member. And the great thing about when you pick up other party members is you don't have to do their entire chapter 1, you just have to do the end of it. If you say no, or I said no, to hearing the whole story. So all we have to do is actually just go to the end of her chapter 1 and fight their boss, and then we have her and we can leave with her and stuff like that. Tress is a merchant. So Cyrus is actually his job class is scholar. I say he was a teacher, but he's scholar, so he casts magic spells and stuff like that. Tress is a merchant. Merchant's really busted, and we'll see that in a little bit. And so this encounter I was going to get, there's way too many steps in this area of the map to not get an encounter on. So we just break it and run. Either Cyrus's fire spells will break it or Tressa's spear will break it. So basically, these pirates were stealing crap from Ripple-Tide. Tressa's mad about it, and they told her that to bring them some grog or something. So she did, but she spiked it with a sleeping agent. So when we go in here, they're all gonna be asleep. And another great thing about Tressa, she just randomly finds money on the ground, like when you transition screens and stuff. Merchants are busted. Like I said, stuck on the terrain all the time. That's a save point. We'll use those eventually. So this is, they wake up. That's Mick and Mac. They wake up and then they start a fight. This is our second boss fight. Blink and you'll miss it, by the way. So don't blink. Don't blink. There you go. Enjoy that almost duel of fates there. So, a lot of the stuff that was stolen was this guy's stuff and whatever, so we got him back. He's happy. And Tressa found more money on the dock, apparently. So, we gotta finish off chapter 1 here for Tressa. So we're gonna go to her house, which is right here. And then we're gonna leave town, because that's how you trigger the end of chapters. So, we're not done with Ripple-Tide yet, though, so we're going to go back. We got a couple things to do in here still that we got to do now. So Tressa has, so every character has like a secondary skill, like how Cyrus has the scrutinize where he can scrutinize people in towns. Tressa has a purchase. So we have to scrutinize her. It's a 70% chance. We got it first try, cool. And now we've actually got a purchase from her. She's got something we want, this Thunder Soulstone M. So we're going to buy that from her. And then what we scrutinized her for was this Thunder Soulstone L. Now that we're done, now we're done in Ripple-Tide, so we're gonna go to Cobblestone.
Time to throw a donation in?
Give me a sec. So we're gonna pick up here. This is Ulbrich. This is our next party member, actually. Ulbrich's pretty cool. He's the warrior class, basically. Yeah, go ahead.
So we have a $5 donation from Anonymous. I just want to point out that all of the proceeds from this are going to carbonfund.org. And their mission is to make the world's global carbon neutral and is the leader in the fight against climate change. So we really appreciate all your donations. Keep them coming. We still have a lot in this run, and we'd love to read them out. So thank you.
Yeah, keep them rolling in. Carbon Fund's a good place to donate for. All right, we made it here without an encounter. Sometimes that happens. So we're doing the end of Ulbrich Chapter 1. So Mick, in a blink and you'll miss it moment, Mick and Mac, the boss for Tressa, dropped an item. This Ice Soulstone M. We're going to use it right now. So thanks to Mick and Mac, I was able to one-shot that fight. That was a forced encounter there. And Tressa found some money. It starts getting exponentially bigger as we progress. So now this is Gaston. No, not that Gaston. This is the boss fight for Ulbrich. And you know those Thunder Soulstones we just found and purchased? Well, there goes his friends. And there goes him. There is only one more boss we completely cheese with Soulstones. And then we start using a mixture of Soulstones and broken merchant mechanics that I don't want to give away just yet. So now we're done with Ulbrich Chapter 1, so we gotta do the leaving of town to finish the chapter, get the cutscene, finish the chapter. So when you get a new character, you kind of have to do their Chapter 1, so that's why we're doing those. So now we're actually going to go a new way that we haven't been before. We're going to go out here into the desert. I mean the desert. Some decent music here. Hope everybody's having a good time. Got a little slow going with the RNG at the initially, but we're moving along pretty good. We're going to grab this little hidden treasure chest here for an old coin. And we're going to come up here to Sunshade. I think you know the drill by now. Hi, Sunshade. Bye, Sunshade. So another neat thing about this game is when you transition screens, as long as they're different map names, it resets threat each time. So that's why I'm able to like get through so many of these screens without encounters, is because of that mechanic. There is a place I'll be doing in a little bit where I'll have to actually do a different way of resetting my threat, because it's like a dungeon type area, so a lot of its screens have the same dungeon name, which means if I transition screens, the threat count stays the same instead of going back down. I will probably get an encounter here on this screen. It's pretty hard not to, and the RNG is probably going to make me get it. Or not! Okay. I usually do, but we didn't. That's a rather long screen to not get an encounter on, so I got lucky. So we're going to the town where Cyrus Chapter 2 starts. We're not ready to complete Cyrus Chapter 2, but we're going to get through a good chunk of it, because we also need to be... This town is a convenient place to grab a few things as well. And since we're here, we might as well do it. This is Quarry Crest. We're not actually running right out of Quarry Crest. We're sticking around for a while for once. So we got... Tressa Chapter 2 also happens here, so you gotta be careful. And choose Cyrus' story. Alright, so the first thing we gotta do is go to Odette's house, which is up here. This is part of the Cyrus 2 story. And it's convenient that we had to come here anyway to do the story. So we're going to scrutinize her real quick as part of the story, because we also really want this Windstole Stone M. And since it's in her house, it was convenient to have to be up there anyway to do the story. And then we're going to come up here. Oops, god dang it, this controller. We're going to go ahead and purchase from this guy his Thunder Soul Stone M and his Thunder Soul Stone L. Then we're going to come down here, scrutinize this guy, and then scrutinize this guy. And that's all we need to scrutinize to know everything we need to know to do our deductions here for this bit. So what we now know, trust me, is that whatever is happening, it happens near the end. And it happens no matter when, time of day wise, and they're being taken to the sewers. And that basically makes us ready to fight the boss for Cyrus Chapter 2, but we're not ready, so we're going to leave. We are mainly here to get those soul stones, but since we're already here, we might as well do the Cyrus Chapter 2, like I said. As that far along, get it ready for the boss fight. We've got a few things that we need to do in prep for that boss fight, because that's where the bosses kind of start ramping up as far as based on our level. We're not supposed to be as low level as we are to fight those bosses, like Chapter 2 bosses and forward. So I need to prep a little more than I have so far. So we're going to go to Boulder Fall now, another town. I'll probably get an encounter on this screen, because I didn't on the last one that I said I would. So yeah, I did. It might keep me around for a while too, we'll see. See if I get a first try run. Nope, okay. They're not going to do particularly a hell of a lot of damage, sorry. But, it's just going to be annoying. This is just going to waste time while they're doing all this stuff. Okay, so we're another turn not running. Good. That's what I needed. And then your other, if one character fails to run, the other ones just don't do anything that turn. So you see the tripped and fell kind of thing, it said. Alright, so we got out on the third try, whatever. Could be worse, I guess. So how's everybody doing tonight? Good? Good. Y'all enjoying the RPG? This is Therian, our final party member. Therian is a thief. I said no on the first thing. Whoops, my bad. I meant to say yes to that, no to that. So, for Therian's first chapter, we've got this mansion here. And this is actually the place I was talking about the threat. So Ravis Manor here. We climb in the window and break in. It's got a couple different areas, and they're all called Ravis Manor. So the threat doesn't reset when we screen transition them. So we have a way around that. I'm gonna go in this door. This is the screen transition I'm talking about. It's gonna autosave the game, and I'm gonna reset back to title. And then I'm going to just load the autosave. And that's going to reset my threat. So now I'll just have to go back through the door again, because for some reason the autosave puts you before instead of after the transition. And then I'll be able to clear this room without an encounter, where I would not have been able to before. Then we go up here. And that's what Therian wanted, that little blue orb thing, and we get a boss fight. And the Thunder Soulstone L will get rid of his friend. And he's got a little more HP. So, we have to use all 3 Soulstones we just picked up, but we take him out that way. Alright, so we got our whole party, finally. So that's good. But now we gotta go do a little bit of collection of things before we go deal with the rest of Cyrus's story. And then we can start throwing our money at all of our problems. So we just got Cyrus Chapter 1 finished. There we go. We left town. Cyrus Chapter 1 is officially over. Now we got to go on a hardy little jaunt. So we're going to come up this way. To the West Swarky Trail here. And then we're going to do a little maneuvering here. There's a pretty dangerous screen coming up in a little bit. Wow, I actually got an encounter on this screen. That's not very common either. Maybe it'll let me just run away. No? Okay, cool. I never get encounters here, so like, I don't know what breaks these things really. Like, I don't know if I have anything that'll just AoE break the whole thing or not. But they don't do a lot of damage, so it's whatever. I'll probably run here then, hopefully. Yep, cool. So this screen has a very important thing where we're going to pick up. We're going to come over here, which is kind of off the beaten path, a little bit hidden. We got the Shrine of the Huntress here. The Shrine of the Huntress, well, it has this treasure chest. We're getting it, but that's not the important thing. Open, thank you. It's this. This is the hunter job as a secondary job. So each character has a primary job, but then they can also equip one secondary, but you have to collect them. So I just collected the secondary hunter job. I'm not going to do anything with it yet, but it's going to be important for later. And only one character can equip a job at a time. So like, if once I equip that hunter job, only that person can be the secondary hunter. So this is the screen I was talking about that's really dangerous. So we're going to have to hope and pray here that it decides not to give me an encounter here. Because if it does, it's probably going to wait until I'm almost at the end to do it. So this is where we're going to see another instance of, okay, cool. So I'm going to save here. But this is another instance of where I'm going to reset threat by going back to the title screen. But I'm doing a manual save there because I don't want to get put all the way back to the start, obviously. I want to be where I was. So I'm going to load the save I made, and I'm still right here. And then we're going to come down here and get this copperfield pouch, rather. And now we're going to go to Dusk Barrow. So Dusk Barrow here, this is where Cyrus Chapter 4 happens, actually. So we'll be coming back here later. But we do actually need to do something here real quick. We're going to buy this guy's curious antique from him. And we're going to come over here, get stuck on everything, get that $30,000, and then come over here, get that curious antique. Now we're done with here. And now we got to go somewhere. We got to go back to Stoneguard. We were at Stoneguard a while back, so you might remember that. But we're not actually going to Stoneguard yet. It's just conveniently close to things we need to do. So we're going to head back out again. And actually, we're going to go back to a screen we were at a little bit ago. But it's going to be actually harder to traverse this time because we're going to be taking a little bit longer route through it. It actually requires a little bit of manipulation of the mechanics of movement in this game. As if you notice, when I run, the mini-map in the bottom right turns red, and that's because it's supposed to make encounters more likely to happen because I'm running. So we're going to be abusing that a little bit. So back here. So we're going to come down here first and get this treasure chest here, which is a silver-filled pouch. And then we're going to come up the bridge, and then we're going to stop running right as we get to the end of the bridge, and I'm going to walk the rest of the way to hopefully extend my step count a little bit and not get an encounter. Never mind. I am probably dead unless I get lucky and run away. No. Because as you see, this is a level 45 area, and I'm like not level 45. So everything's just one-shotting my characters.
Through this area again, can I read a donation?
Sure.
Roma45100, $1, says timber.
Yay. Well, thank you for the donation. All right, so here we go. Get the silver-filled pouch again. Get up the bridge. Stop running. We need to make it in here. Hey, we did it. Second try. Not bad. Everhold Tunnels is even worse. Level 55. And so we have another instance here where we've got to make it to a certain point and reset threat. But this isn't going to be the same as like the save and load thing. This is actually a lot better. And I don't understand. This just happens to work for some reason. So I go up this stairwell. There's a hard boss here. I say I'm not ready to fight it, and threat reset. So why not? We're going to come down here, get this knowledge staff. Come down here. Get that $35,000, and we're done in here now. Back to Stoneguard. And we're leaving Stoneguard. We don't have anything to do in Stoneguard for a little while yet. Stoneguard is someplace we'll actually come back to. Stoneguard is where Cyrus's chapter 3 takes place at. So now I'm going to be running through here. I almost always get an encounter here, so we'll see. I've gotten encounters in other weird places, so maybe it'll be nice to me. And it was, cool. I usually get an encounter there and it's annoying, because it takes my entire party to break it. So now we're on this coast here. So this is actually the final spot where I'll be doing that save and reload method to reset threat. We'll just be coming up here to this save spot here, saving our game. And then reloading the game so that we have no more threat. And then we're coming up here, the Shrine of the Trader. This is probably the most important item I'm going to be picking up in this game. This is Merchant as a second job. And remember I said, Merchant is busted. So now I have 2 of them. Alright, so now we're going to make that happen. So Cyrus is going to be our hunter as a second job. We're going to give him Aerostorm. We're done with him for now. Tressa is going to stay a merchant, give her hired help. We're going to turn our boy Ulbrich into a merchant, give him hired help. And we're going to give Therian Armor Corrosive and leave him as a thief. And that's all we're going to do here. And now we're going to head back over to Quarry Crest because we're ready to take on Chapter 2 now. We're ready to take on that boss. We got everything we need. So we're going to go in the sewers, which is basically just right here. We have everything we need to take this boss on, and it's going to be hilarious. This is going to be my first instance of showing you just how money solves your problems in this game. Because you notice I've been collecting a lot of money over the course of this run so far. And here's the boss room. Alright, here we go. Evasive maneuver is also pretty busted. I've been traversing so many screens without a fight. So here's the boss. This is Gideon. Okay, so what we're going to do first with him is we are going to use our BP. We're going to Armor Corrosive him for 4 turns. He ain't going to live 4 turns, don't worry. He's going to defend. His move doesn't matter. We're just going to have him do something. She's going to defend. Defending makes them go first next turn. Times 3 merchant, hired help veteran soldiers. This costs $30,000. Hired help veteran soldiers, $60,000 total. See ya, Gideon. Money solving problems. You hire goons to take your fights out for you. That is Cyrus Chapter 2 in the books. And just like any other Chapter 1, in order to finish Cyrus Chapter 2, we gotta leave town. Or at least get towards the end of town, in this case. Okay. So remember Sunshade? We're going to go back there. But we have nothing to do here. We're just going to leave. But this is a good place to leave from, so that's why we tagged it in the first place for fast travel. And it's the only reason we ever went into the town in the first place. Was to tag it for fast travel so we could do this part now. So who's breaking 700, by the way, out there in chat? We're pretty close. So this is the walk left forever portion of the speed run. Or I should say run left. Okay, now we go down a little bit, but then run left some more. So, how gorgeous is this game, by the way? You guys like this? I mean, it's super cool. Super beautiful. The scenery is amazing in this game. Graphics are great. Now we're in Saints Bridge. This is another town. We got stuff to do here. So he's got stuff we want. He's got healing great bunches. We're going to buy both of them. Now for this, now we got another little bit of RNG. It's not usually too bad. It doesn't usually take me too long. So, as you saw from Rippletide, Scrutinize sometimes can have a % chance to fail. Well, here, we scrutinize this guy, it's a 36% chance to succeed. And I got it first try, cool. Oh wait, I also have to buy something from him. Purchase. I gotta buy his Wind Soul Stones. But, so I scrutinized him, and I have to scrutinize him, and it's a low chance. And the reason I have to scrutinize him is because it just opened up some extra items in the armory that wouldn't normally be there. Which is a pretty cool feature that having things like that can happen, can be unlocked in this game. So we're going to go there now, because we unlocked one of the things we really want. Actually, first what we're going to do is we're going to sell a bunch of stuff. We're going to sell anything we have that's over $1,000, because we don't need it. And we need money. As you saw, I spent $60,000 solving a problem. Alright, now that we've done all that, I'm going to go in here and buy 8 of these empowering bracelets for $52,000. And why? I'll show you why. Because if I equip 2 of them on a character, they get an extra 1,000 hit points. So now all of my characters are going to have 1,000 extra hit points, which is how they're going to live some boss fights. And now we're going to go in here and we're going to go ahead and learn some stuff here. We're going to learn leg hold trap on him. And he's going to learn Insight, 1,000 spears, and sidestep. And they've unlearned some new skills, so he's going to learn his new heightened senses support skill. He's going to learn endless items and cover. Endless items is really cool, but it doesn't really matter much for this run. It gives you a small chance to have an item stay, like, not consume an item when you use it in battle. And now we're done with here. So now we're going to go and actually go to Stone Guard for real this time. Because now we're ready for Cyrus Chapter 3. So to start off with Cyrus Chapter 3, we're going to go in this building here. We're going to scrutinize this person. We're going to go to this other person's house here to skip a cutscene. And then scrutinize this old lady here.
Cool.
It does say she's 68 years old, so I know that she's an old lady. And this old guy here, because he's 70. Then go down here, and this person here has a Fire Soulstone L we're going to buy. And then we're going to scrutinize this person. And now we've gotten everything we need to make our deductions for this chapter. But you didn't see it because I skipped the text really fast. So Dominic lost his daughter to sickness, and he paid his debts by translating a book. Done. Chapter 3 solved. And then we got to go up this way now. So I don't know if you caught that, but it said we need to go to Yvonne's birthplace. Yvonne is the headmaster of the school that we were at the beginning of the game. And there's Lucia. Remember her? What's she doing here? It's because this is Yvonne's house. And, hey, we're in a dungeon. Why not? Wait and see. And as we wait and see, we get rescued by Therese. Because she loves Cyrus so much. And then she gets captured. And this screen has a tendency to give me an encounter, even though I have pretty good movement here. So we'll see what happens. I need to get to the save point. Oh my god, I was right in front of the save point. Are you kidding me? That's dumb. Okay, come on. And I'm surprise attacked. So I'm dead. That's alright. I mean, maybe. Unless I can run away. But then I still have to heal, which is gonna... Nah, they didn't run away. They could start using their soul stones anytime now. Because they have soul stones, they'll use them. They'll perform my old strategy against me. But instead, they'd rather just whittle away my HP slowly, apparently. There's a soul stone. There we go. That's the most infuriating part about getting the encounters in this game, because they tend to happen when you're like one step away from from it not mattering anymore, like the screen transition or the save point or what have you. It's like when they really like to show their faces. It's like, oh, you're one step away from a save point. Here's an encounter. It's going to set you back like a minute or so. Okay, here we go. So we're going to save here. And the save is, this save is more because this fight is BS. This is the other RNG Stonewall of this game, this boss fight. So here we go. This is Headmaster Yvonne. He has used arcane magics and made himself big and powerful and mean. And I hate when Therian goes first, but we'll do this. So we're going to give this to Tressa and boost her BP to max. And hope that they cooperate. So let's see. Yes. Fine. Beautiful. We're in. Okay. So then... so we're going to do 2 break shield damages to the ads. And then we're going to do... Oops, not warrior. 2 more break... We're going to break the ads here. So that hired help doesn't cost that much money, so I'm not worried about it. And then Tressa's going to defend, so that Tressa goes first next turn. Then Tressa is going to use Dancer to break Yvonne. Now everybody's broke. And it's all good. And now everybody else just soul stones away. And this is going to kill the ads, which is good because the ads are annoying. And we'll see if we get an endless items proc for fun. Yes, we did. We got an endless items proc. So that wind soulstone won't have gone away. Not that it matters, but... Okay, so he's going to use Armor Corrosive to lower Yvonne's armor. And then she is going to use Collect, and she's going to steal $16,000 from him. And now we're going to use this Energizing Pomegranate M on her to give her a couple more BP back. And then his turn doesn't matter, so I'm just going to take a swing. So now Yvonne is just going to boost his strength or whatever. So now here's what we're going to do. Do 4 break points of damage to him. Use Therian to break him entirely. And these 2 are going to defend. So they get 1 more BP, because... Vets! Not anymore! $60 grand kills a boss. First try. That rarely happens because he's kind of a jerk. If any of those, like, so the ads have an AoE move that'll pretty much get you really close to death. And then if like 2 of them attack the same target and stuff, it can be kind of dumb. So we're done with Chapter 3 now. So we got a little bit of stuff we got to do here. Our boy Therian needs a little love. Let's give him Shackle Foe and Steel SP, not Share SP. And then we'll, oops, Skill, Jesus crud, man, come on. All right, and then give him Incidental Attack and Fleet Foot. So now we're good. We're ready to go now. So we'll just go ahead and come up here to Dusk Barrel where Chapter 4 is. And go ahead and kick Chapter 4 off. Final dungeon of the game, everybody. Oh, at least not of the game, but of Cyrus Chapter 4. Or of the Cyrus story, anyway. So here's our little thing here. No, you don't want to press it. No, and you want to twist it instead. Opens the door to the dungeon that's in this town. All right. I'm just going to be wandering around a little bit, picking up stuff. Pseudo, if you have any donations you want to read. I'm just going to be picking up a couple things out of here.
Not currently any brand new donations, but I will kind of plug the next runs coming up if I have a moment. So after this one, we do have Tom and Earl back in the groove, and that has some crowd control features, so that's going to be really cool. And then after that, we have Amnesia: The Dark Descent following that. So stay tuned for that, and back to our regular scheduled programming.
Thank you. So I just picked up $50,000. That's not going to come in handy in a little bit. And $20,000. So $70,000 I just picked up. No big deal. Remember this wall painting thing later. It's going to be important. But not for now. So we're just kind of going on a little bit of an item collection spree as we make our way to the boss. Got a healing grape bunch there. Got a pomegranate there, a large pomegranate for all of the BP. We find random library in this dungeon, because why not? And we're going to come down here and get this Ice Soulstone L, which we probably don't really even need because the wind one didn't go away, but whatever. And we're going to save our game here, because while the final boss isn't as trolly as Yvonne normally is, there is a chance. And our final boss fight is Lucia. Because why not? She was pulling the strings the whole time. And she also uses arcane magics to make herself uber powerful, including giving herself 30 breakpoints. Right here. But also, she's going first, and this is the trolley thing I was talking about. Because I'm dead. So she can do that, or she can crit one of my characters as I'm starting to get stuff built up. But that's why I saved, because I had the feeling that was going to happen. Because it generally will. Let's see. Let's see if she's going to behave now or not. I need Therian or Tressa to go before her second turn. Nope, she's going first again. Okay, so she's pulling this again. Wonderful. I got plenty of time. It's cool. Sometimes Ulbrich will actually survive that, and that's even more annoying because that just wastes more time. Because Ulbrich will have just enough HP to survive it if she rolls low. Alright, Lucia. Behave. Let's see what you got. What you got? Really? Okay. Going first again. And you see, Ulbrich survived, so now I'm going to waste more time. Taking turns. This fight's really cool to watch, too. Which is a shame that it's being a butt right now. Because this fight would not be possible if her turns weren't completely scripted. Other than, like, her... I mean, RNG, of course, going into where she's going in turn order here, but she does the same thing for her turns. So we know what to do about it. Okay, we're fine now. Cool. All right. We've got Tressa and Therian first, which is even better. So he's going to start off just using 1,000 Spears to take off a little bit of her breakpoints. He got 3, whatever. He can do up to 5 hits. He got 3. So our boy Therian here is going to use Shackle Foe. This is going to debuff her attack, so she's not going to do as much damage. And he's going to take a quick shot at her. So now Tressa is going to use Hired Help Mercenary, which only is $150. This is going to do 2 points of break damage and give us 4 rounds of a defense buff. So now that doesn't kill us automatically anymore. And then with him, we're going to do Leg Hold Trap, which is going to be 4 turns of her going last every time. So that's going to help us out. So now we're going to heal up with Tressa. And actually also with Therian too, because normally she can potentially do more damage than that. So we're just going to do that. And now for a good chunk of the rest of this fight, he's going to do Rain of Arrows. And then his turn, he's going to use Insight, which we just picked up recently. What that is basically a taunt, and it works on her. So any single target damage is always going to hit Ulbrich while that's in effect, as you'll see here. And so now this turn, we have a bunch of BP. We're going to use Sidestep, which is a merchant skill we picked up for him. This is going to allow him for 4 attacks to dodge everything. Okay, so Therian now is going to use Steel SP just to do 2 points of break damage. And of course, like I said, Rain of Arrows in the hizzy. He got 5 hits out of that. That was good. And Tressa is going to continue to be our healer. But now watch as Ulbrich takes no damage. And Ulbrich takes no damage. So once again, Rain of Arrows. And now Therian is just going to burn his BP into dagger hits, which will do break damage as well. She is going to do 1 more healing grape. And with Ulbrich, we're going to go ahead and refresh Insight because it's about to fall off. And Ulbrich takes no damage. And Ulbrich takes no damage. So now all the buffs and debuffs have fallen off. So with Ulbrich here, we're going to refresh Sidestep for 2 attacks because that's all we have the BP for. Tressa is going to do 2 rounds of our defense buff. Therian is going to do 2 turns of the defense break, or the attack break. And Cyrus is just going to, I don't need him to rain arrows this turn, so I'm just going to have him swing just to use his turn up. So no damage to Ulbrich, and no damage to Ulbrich. All right. Damage to Ulbrich, and damage to everybody. That's fine though. All right. So Therian's going to take his 2 BP and do Armor Corrosive for 4 turns. This is going to lower her defense. And take a swing. Tressa is going to do 1 break point of damage to set her up. He's going to defend. And he's going to use a large pomegranate on himself to give him 4 BP. Now, we're going to use Cyrus's axe to break her, finally. And now she is going to bring out the vets! Therian is going to drop a hot Wind Soulstone L because we have it. And Ulbrich is going to not bring out the vets. We're going to BP up Tressa. And now turn. Bring out the vets! And bring out the vets! $90,000 worth of damage. And the Wind Soulstone M that we have here. And the Ice Soulstone L, because why not? Bye, Lucia. Game's not quite over yet. That was the last boss, but we still got a little bit to do here. We got a mystery to solve, right? We got this. We got to know stuff. Cyrus got to know. So we got to. Whoa, yo, controller, easy there. We got to head over to here, examine this book. Oh wait, yeah, okay. So we're gonna come over here. I'm gonna take. Oh my God, really? That's not good. We're gonna scrutinize books now. Scrutinizing books. The dream. Now we're going to go back to Lucia, and hopefully that my controller wigging out and that little bit of a misstep isn't going to get me an encounter before I get back to the book, otherwise that's going to be bad. And we're going to be refighting Lucia. Okay, good. Scrutinize this book that Lucia dropped. Alright, and now because it's quicker, we're going to go ahead and warp back to Duskbarrow. Also to reset threat, too. And we're going to go back in the dungeon. Do get ready on time, though, because it's coming up. Oop, come on, controller. No more of that left when I'm holding up crap. All right, here we go. So we're gonna scrutinize this mural from earlier. And it said doom, 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 doom. So now, here's our little deductions. So, sealed power away, blah, blah, blah. The power of life and death, and get ready on time. A warning, and time. And that was Cyrus' story of Octopath Traveler. With a lot of RNG. Is my yeah, I mean my PB is a 59 and a half minutes, but and world record's like 49 minutes. But it's a solid run. Each of the 8 characters has a run like this. Some of them are more annoying to do than others, from what I hear. This is the only one I know how to do right now. But I enjoy it. It's a good, like, if you're looking for like an RPG speedrun that doesn't take a long time, it's a good like any of the story ones are probably good to like jump into to get a bite out of an RPG speedrun. But I want to thank everybody for letting me display my first non-retro speedrun on a Midwest Speedfest style marathon. And y'all donate. Carbonfund.org is a good charity. So go ahead and do that. We need to break 700, y'all. Make it happen. Right on. All right, well, thanks for having me.